Hello, I am Warrant Officer First Class Thibeault, and in this video I will be teaching you how to maintain brass. So, as you get up on the ranks in cadets, you are issued more and more brass kit. So eventually you will get yourself a ceremonial belt, which is a lot more maintenance than your normal belt, which you should be shining regularly anyways. But now, once you get one of these, it's really incentive to. And once you're in flag party, and you'll have to shine the flag topper and the screwing part of the flag. And if you become a RSM or squadron chief or coxswain, you will have some sort of ceremonial object to polish as well, such as a pay stick for Army and Air Cadets. So what you want to do is you'll need a microfiber cloth, so something like this. You'll need a toothbrush, and you'll need either Peak, which you can get from Canadian Tire, or you can get Brasso, but Brasso will take 10 times as longer than Peak, so I would highly recommend Peak. Now, you're gonna wrap your microfiber cloth around your finger as you would normally, and then you're just going to get a dab of Peak on your finger. Brasso, you'll need a lot more, but for Peak, it's very strong, and it dissolves all that gunk off your brass pretty easily, so you only need a tiny little dab. And then you'll get whatever you're polishing, and as you would boots, you just do tiny little circles, and you'll see that, and you can do back and forth as well, but you'll do tiny little circles. I tend to do ovals, and you'll see already that black spot on that cloth is the Peak removing very micro layers of that brass so that you can get a better shine. Get a bit more, just keep on repeating that process. Keep on shining that. You'll see when you first apply it, it will be streaky, and the more and more you polish, the shinier and shinier it gets. And once you have polished brass, you really want to avoid getting fingerprints on it, because you will need to wipe it and regularly repolish it the more you touch it. So you just want to try to be as careful as possible when maintaining brass. And then for the white belt, the white ceremonial belt, it's the exact same thing. You're just tiny little circles around the front, and then the belt loops, the top as well, but mostly the front on the belt. The belt loops are belt keepers rather, as well as the buckle. And on a side note, make sure that these clasps are as close to the buckle as possible. A common mistake you'll see with these belts is that they're not properly adjusted, so these clasps will be way over here and way over here if they're not properly adjusted. So you want to make sure you do that. The easiest way to adjust these belts is that this is a white nylon material, so it gets malleable when hot. So you want to get a wide pot, fill it with water, boil it on your stove, dunk the belt in, and then the nylon will be very malleable and you'll be able to adjust it fine. So once it's actually properly adjusted, you'll have a lot less trouble actually adjusting it over and over again, getting all your fingerprints on it. It'll just be as simple as you can put it around you and then put it on, rather than having to mess with it. So properly adjusting it, it will make your life polishing a lot easier. Your toothbrush also comes in handy quite a bit for the insignia. You aren't going to be able to polish the insignia well without a toothbrush, because you won't be able to get in there. So with that toothbrush, you can actually get in and get everything. The main thing to note when you're polishing brass is don't touch it, because you're gonna leave fingerprints, and you just want to keep on doing it over and over again, because it's the opposite of boot polishing. Boot polish, you're building layers. Brass, you're removing layers. Very, very microscopic layers. It'll never be enough to notice, and you'll never do any damage to a material for any Cadet issued kit. So it's as simple as that. Make sure you don't leave any peak or brasso residue, because it'll turn green and hard, and it'll ruin a lot of hinges, like I've seen on some other RSMs and some other RSM's pay sticks. You'll get a little bit of that peak residue up in the hinge, and it'll be a lot more difficult to operate. But same thing, you want to maintain everything with all of your issued kit, and toothbrush can be good for getting in all these seams. Just make sure everything brass issued is shown. By the time you're getting big pieces of brass kit, like a flag with the flag topper, a pay stick or drill cane, or one of these belts, you're usually in a senior cadet position. So you really need to be making sure that as an NCO, you're putting a lot of effort into your appearance. So be sure to be making that extra effort to be polishing all your brass kit. Thank you. I've been Warrant Officer First Class Thibeault on maintaining brass.